everybody, welcome back to another video on the channel. My name is Matthew Cabell, and today I'm going to be doing one more of these videos. Obviously you can tell that that these videos are kind of only a little bit far apart, but they're going to be like weeks apart. And that's my chair. This is my chair. That is not what people think is a fart. That is a chair. My chair is squeaky. Deal with it. Anyways, so today's video is going to be not like today's video. I guess like today's like fun time with Matt with ROM hacks is going to be a story on actually how I started ROM hacking. So it's a very simple story. Back in the good old days when YouTube was very much a smaller thing and people were just starting to actually like make money off of this, you know, Google hadn't bought out yet and stuff like that. I was watching a decent amount of people. I was watching this guy named Azerblade49. Then through him, through a collaboration, I met a guy named Proton John. And after that, through another collaboration, I met a guy named SSOHPKC, also just known as Seamus. And then through that, I learned about the creatures, which I know is a secret name. And then through them, I learned about James and Alex and a lot of people. Dick. So anyways, so I met a lot of people. I mean, like in real life, I was like, obviously, like on the interwebs, I was like, wow, these are so many people. And the funny thing is that a lot of people would not think this, but actually, my mom would actually like sit in my room with me, because back in the day I only had this like really like shitty netbook that was only like $100, but it was a great start. Like honestly, for the first like computer for a kid I will have is going to be just like a shitty little netbook. And I mean, whenever they're like 6 or 7, you know, I'm going to teach them how to like type or whatever, and through that they will be master. No, I'm joking. They're not gonna be masters, but they're gonna be able to do like PC stuff. And to me, that's something that a lot of people don't have nowadays. So many people grow up on consoles, and I am one of those people. I grew up a lot on console. I grew up mainly, from my remembrance, I grew up a lot on the DS, the PlayStation 1 and 2. The Xbox 360, if I didn't own one, my friends had one, and then the Nintendo Wii. That's what I grew up on a lot. And then in 2011, I got my first laptop. And the only reason why I even got it, the only reason why I got it is because it was on sale at Best Buy. This was before Best Buy even had like Geek Squad or whatever. I think Geek Squad came in like 2013, I think, for their brand. And you know, so I'm over here just being like, you know, one day I'm gonna be able to work here and be able to build computers and do stuff. And now I can't do that because there's too much competition. But through them, laptops was my big means of entertainment. I was not really into cable. The only reason why I would watch any type of cable would be for GSN, also known as the Game Show Network. Because back in the day, you know, I don't want to say that I was like forced to only watch like certain channels, but you know, a lot of the channels I watched, you know, when I actually had like TV time or whatever. Because the cool thing was that, you know, how it kind of worked out for me was that, you know, I'll come home from school or whatever, and I would be allowed like an hour to an hour and a half, depending on like circumstances. Like if it was a Friday night, you know, it was kind of one of those like, as long as your mom's up and watching TV with you, you can watch TV. And that's because, again, you know, obviously they want me scrolling through channels and finding out what porn is. So, but, so a lot of, I don't know why I'm saying so much, probably just because my brain, like, is going a million miles a minute. And I'm trying to, like, make sure I'm speaking, like, slow. While I was doing like TV stuff, and also like I didn't have a TV in my room for a very long time. I got a TV in my room when I was like, I think when I was like 8. And for a lot of people, that's like, well, that was still before I had one. But also, the one I had too was a DVD player as well. So I didn't actually have cable in my room until like 2011. And that was kind of the same time I actually started doing YouTube. And before people would be like, wait, what? You started YouTube at 2011? Yes, I did. 2011 was my first like video I've ever done. And the video I did, now it's not on the channel that it's on anymore. That's just because I don't want people finding this type of stuff. And I mean, obviously you're more than welcome to have fun with it, but again, I'm not going to deliberately just be like, oh, it was on this channel, you know, go find it and subscribe to it, because it's never going to be uploaded ever again. Back in the day, I actually did like comedy stuff. I would do like parodies and stuff like that. But obviously, you know, back in the day, people on YouTube, if you didn't have nice high quality stuff, you know, you were garbage. And I guess that's the same thing today, but also technology has granted us a lot more, because nowadays you can just be like, hey mom, can I borrow your phone? Sure. It's an iPhone 8 Plus, so that does 1080p recording at 60 frames per second, you know. So it's like, you know, it's not hard to get started anymore. And for people who are like, it's so hard, it's hard to get a constant viewership. That is what's hard nowadays. But to start YouTube, it's not that hard anymore. You legit have to have two things: an age and a Google account. That's all you need. You don't need anything else. And trust me on that's annoying, because it is very annoying. But yeah, so I started out YouTube 2011. This is still when Gmail was not a big thing. This was back when it was always like Hotmail, and like Gmail became a big thing in like 2012 would be the time I would say that Gmail became a giant thing. And that's kind of when I had my own Gmail, because like I used my mom's account for because technically she didn't have an email, so me and her shared an email for a few years to test out Gmail. And for me, I loved it. It was a simple design. It was able to be on my mom's smartphone and stuff like that. You know, very cool little things. And also, it was able to be on my iPod. For people who do not know this, I had a iPod Touch 4th generation, and I sold it to one of my mom's friends for, I think, like, what was it, like $150 or whatever. After that, I bought like a game or whatever. Anyways, so actually, I think I may have given my mom that money. I don't remember. Anyways, it's fully irrelevant. I'm trying to think now. I'm sorry. But anyways, so while doing this, I did a lot of phone cam footage, you know, and then I started doing like gameplay stuff. And, you know, yes, I will say I was one of those people where back in the day, I would just use my webcam on my like shitty ass netbook, and that's how I would get my gameplay recordings. Cause I'm just like, you know, I'm little old Matthew. You know, in 2011, depending on how old I was either 10 and or 11. You know, so like, you know, obviously for people who are gonna be like, well, you should have known what that was, Matthew. Like, you're a tech enthusiast, and that is very much true. I am a tech enthusiast. But also, I'm talking about stupid, shitty Matthew, who is not that smart. Back in the day, I was not that smart, especially with technology. But then I started like tinkering around with things, and that's how I got my love for technology. But I will say that YouTube gave me a big inspiration into what I do now, and also I've had a decent amount of collaboration channels You know, especially with the Cleat Geek guy, Josh. I think in total I've had 5 different channels with him. In total, they're not good channels. They're obviously pretty garbage. But in 2013, whenever I had enough money for my own capture card, I saved up like my allowance and shit like that. You know, whenever I was able to get a capture card, my mom ordered it because if you guys don't know how this works, my allowance was not on a debit card and or PayPal. It was very much cash. And my allowance back in the day was not a whole lot. It was like $10. You know, like it's like, did you do stuff around the house and stuff like that? Did you make your bed? Did you know, do your daily routine for what you had to do? Blah 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 blah. That type of stuff. So, there you go. So very much while this was all like happening, I got a capture card. And at the same time as the capture card, I actually started doing more like professional stuff, I guess. And what I mean by professional is that, you know, I did video editing. I did like video editing for like class things or whatever. So it was very, very fun for what I did. I enjoyed it so much. I actually need to go and collect all the egg coins, which is going to be annoying. No, I don't want that anymore. I want Yoshi, but I don't want that. So, yeah, so that's how I kind of got started on YouTube. Is I watched a lot of people. Now, how did I start ROM hacking? Whenever I watched a tutorial, yes, dead serious, I watched a tutorial on how to like properly patch ROM hacks and stuff like that. Now, back in the day, patching a hack wasn't as, I guess, like easy / hard as it is now. And the reason why I say that patching can be hard is that simply sometimes the patch does not work. And then you have to go through and find what's wrong with it and either have to re-download it 4 different times before it works, or you just have to be an idiot like me. And being an idiot is not that hard to do. So here I am, you know, like 13-year-old Matthew. Like, well, more like 12-year-old Matthew. Sitting in his room. At this time, I actually had a desktop. And I guess the small story about that is that my laptop actually started failing. What do you want to say? Like baseboard, I guess. The part that like held the computer together was actually cracked. So, yeah, I wasn't really able to fix it. And so what I did was I compromised, and I was like, all right, listen. Do I absolutely have to have a laptop? No. But I was like, but I do need a computer, though, because I was still recording videos and stuff like that. You know, I was recording videos for a decent amount of time. Now, I did stop YouTube for a while and go strictly over to Twitch. I don't know why Luigi just decided just to like fully just do that. But for a little while, I actually started streaming on Twitch, and that was like 2011? No. More like 20 fudge. It was like 2012? I'll have to take a look at like my archives or whatever, because some of my videos are archived. And again, so I guess I can tell you is like I had that before the whole archive thing started. Why'd you not jump, you idiots? Sorry. So anyway, so I started doing Twitch after I kind of like noted that Twitch was going to be a very like hard thing for me to do. So I had to be very like consistent and shit like that for everything. Blech. So I decided to go out to YouTube in 2012, and I decided to do not ROM hack videos, but I started to do like funny gameplay stuff, and that's when I did what's this? Silver switches make strong plants weak and weak plants strong. So I'm guessing this is a strong. I'm gonna get hurt. Yes. Dead. Strong plant. Okay. So I'm sorry. My voice is just starting to be like, you need to stop talking. You've talked a lot today. And that's very, very true. I have taught a lot today, especially at work. I talk a lot. Not because I wasn't getting work done, because I had a decent amount of people I had to help today. Which I'm actually happy about, because I honestly like, one of the big things that people complain about a lot is guest service. Or customer service, however you want to call it. I'll talk about that here in a minute. But, so when I started doing my ROM hacking stuff, So when I started doing my ROM hacking stuff was in 2012 after I started doing different things for a while. And I honestly, like, once I figured out how everything kind of worked, I downloaded like Lunar Mat. That's a cheap shot, man. I decided to download Lunar Magic. I did the same thing. Anyways, I decided to download Lunar Magic. And just started deciding to dick around with it. Now, obviously, for anyone who will ever think this, please don't. I have never released any of the hacks I've ever made. And that is because all of my hacks are garbage. I am saying that not to make myself feel bad, but because it is sadly just the truth. My hacks were not that good. They were very much just what a lot of people would consider just like a homebrew Mario. And that's kind of the point. Hence why I still like ROM hacking to this day. And it's because, you know, it's what... Are you serious? It's what you want to do with it. So, and then obviously now we have websites that are just huge with ROM hacking stuff. But when I learned about Super Mario World Central, I was like, oh wow, this is actually a really cool place. Did I take it with me? Fuck yeah. Are we wondering if this does anything? No. That was easy. Yahoo! Again, so I started ROM hacking in 2012. I learned about this place called Super Mario World Central. And this is where I get a lot of my hacks. And that's because it's a very reliable source and everything is like scanned to make sure that it's not like bullshit, you know, that it's real stuff that you're finding. And the one like big thing I enjoy about Super Mario Central is that they have a strict criteria on what they allow or not, you know. And like back in the day, they didn't even accept like Kaizo hacks. I mean, now they do. They accept like light Kaizo hacks and hard. That is so weird. They accept like light Kaizo hacks and like hard Kaizo hacks. But that's also going through their criteria. So if you make a hard game on purpose, and if you want a lot of people to be able to play, that's how you want to do it. But if you only want certain people to play, then just have certain people play. I mean, it's very, very simple, very slick and easy to know. Da-pa-da-pa-do. Scoopity poop. There we go. Well, now we're in like autumn. I guess this changes like different like times, I guess. Like this is supposed to be like autumn, I guess. I don't know. This is actually interesting. A thing I don't know. But yeah, so when I started ROM hacking, I became very fascinated in learning more about Super Mario World. So I actually, now, be surprised about this. I actually never completed Super Mario World until I got a Game Boy Advanced. And the time that I got that was about I don't want to say a year, but it was like 2 years. Not even 2 years, more like a year before I started doing ROM hacks. That's when I learned Super Mario World. Like, I didn't even know you could throw the Mecha Koopas up to hit Bowser. I actually had to ask somebody how to do that. And that's just because I didn't have a SNES growing up. Which kind of sucked. It was no one's fault. It's just kind of how